guys, meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you get notified when my latest updates come out. All right, here are my bullet points. This is really what I'm expecting over the next 7, 8, 9 days, and it all centers around this heavy snow, this significant snow between 12:26 and 12:30 for the Pacific Northwest, BC, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Utah, Colorado. Specifically, the Wasatch, the high one is in the central and northern mountains of Colorado. Again, 12:26 through about 12:30. Extended period with Jetstream support, a rich feed of moisture just slamming into the west. It'll be a colder period with a lower rain snow line. We've been dealing with some issues with that the last several days, but that will not be an issue going forward. In the Northeast, I think we've got a rain snow problem, mainly rain, which is going to chew up all the moisture, and we're going to end up with very little accumulation, 12:29, 12:30. So we'll look at all that in this forecast update. Let me set the table for you. Okay, here is the water vapor satellite imagery. So on this isn't low level. You really see the contrast here between the dry air and the moisture. Dry air is in the oranges and the reds, and our moisture is in the whites and the blues. And here's our big boy. So this is our area of low pressure, a rich feed of moisture. Look at all of this moisture coming in off the Pacific all the way back, reaching all the way back into the Pacific. So this is the leading edge of the 12:26 through 12:30 setup, where all of this moisture is just going to come in waves and pound central and northern California, Oregon, Washington, BC, Idaho, parts of Montana, the Tetons, the Wasatch, and the central and northern mountains of Colorado. Okay, let me show you my snow timeline, best odds of snow for the Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, Tahoe, interior BC, and the Northeast. So for example, in the Wasatch, heavy between 12:26 and 12:29, and I've got 2 to 3 feet of accumulation potentially. In the Tetons, 12:26 to 12:30, heavy, and in the Tetons, that may be my biggest bullseye with at least 3 feet, probably more, across the heart of the Tetons, on top of the Grand Teton at Jackson Hole. In Colorado, moderate to heavy 26, 27, and then again, moderate 29 and 30. If you're looking at interior BC, moderate to heavy 1226, moderate to heavy PM 27 into 28, light 29, and then heavy on 1-1. So several chances of big snow accumulation across a number of areas. All right, here's the Jetstream forecast. This is the storm track. I'll start this off early on Thursday morning, the 26th. So what I'm looking for here are the brighter colors. I'm looking for the pinks, the reds. That's going to be your higher winds at Jetstream level, and that's what's steering a lot of the action and producing some lift. It's doing a couple of different things. Okay, here we are midday on Thursday the 26th. You can already see the leading edge of our setup coming in to Northern California, Oregon, Washington. That's just the tip of it, the fire hose. All right, here we go late on the 26th. Now it's starting to nose its way into Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and eventually the central and northern mountains of Colorado. Here we are on early Friday morning. Look at that jet stream coming in. That tongue of moisture is going to ride that jet stream in there. Okay, here we are on midday Friday the 27th. You've got this conveyor belt stretching all the way out from Northern California in the central and northern mountains of Colorado. Here we are late on Friday the 27th. The pattern continues, and I mean, we're just teeing up the Tetons here for big snow, and the Pacific Northwest as well. Here's early on the 28th. This is Saturday, midday on Saturday right here, and we're still flush in this pattern all the way through the 29th. Okay, here's another way of looking at this setup. So this is my spider chart, odds of best snow. Who's going to see it? More purple, higher on the web, better odds of snow. That's the central to northern mountains of Colorado. That's the Wasatch. That's Idaho, all of Idaho. That's parts of Montana. That's definitely the Tetons. It's Shasta. It's Oregon. It's Washington. It's BC. All those areas are going to be higher on the web. So those are the areas you want to target if you're looking for places to go. And my official numbers here, my forecast, all of the 26 through the first day of the new year. Let's start in the Sierra. Most of it's going to be in Northern California, although we could still see a foot around Tahoe. A couple of feet over Shasta. Look at the numbers in the Pacific Northwest. 3 to 4 feet of accumulation through Timberline, Bachelor, Stevens, Crystal, Rainier, up to Whistler, Blackcomb, 1 to 2 feet for interior BC from Red Mountain up to Revelstoke. Looks like probably a couple of feet through Brundage and Sun Valley, close to a couple of feet up there in Schweitzer. And parts of Montana, especially Big Sky, could exceed a foot of accumulation, a foot in a lot of other areas through Whitefish and Snow Bowl and Discovery and Bridger Bowl. Okay, so the Tetons. I've got 40 on the board here for Jackson Hole. I've got about 30 on the board for Grand Targhee. Down the road in the Wasatch, looking at probably 2 feet or more through Little and Big Cottonwood Canyon. So 24 to probably 30 inches. Solitude, Brighton out to Snowbird, and probably 1 to 2 feet up through parts of Park City, Deer Valley, Powder Mountain, Snow Basin. In Colorado, it's really about the central to northern mountains. About a foot through Snowmass, Aspen, Buttermilk, and the Highlands, the Grand Mesa. About a foot through Crested Butte, and then less as you drop down into the southern mountains. But as you go east towards Vail and into Summit County, where anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of accumulation, and 1 to 2 feet up on the Continental Divide, Loveland, A Basin, Winter Park, Cameron Pass, and a couple of feet up around Steamboat. Okay, let's go to the Northeast. So the Northeast has a problem. 1229, 1230, it's mainly rain. The snow I'm showing here in this accumulation mainly happens on the 1st of the new year, so 1-1, with about 1 or 2 inches of accumulation. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this On the Snow Before You Go forecast. Appreciate you tuning in here, and take care.